What's up, everybody? I'm Wyatt Bagnall,
Taylor Washington.
and we are here to review the NFL's Week 4 games. It was a great week in the picks for us. We had the same record most of the weeks, with the exception of Week 1, and you had 1 week, 1 game better than me. This week we both went 12-4,
Yes, sir.
and we just did the math on all this. It puts me 8 games over 500. You 4 games over 500.
4 games over 500.
Yeah.
So,
So
not bad anymore.
Now we needed that. But let's jump right into it. So Thursday night, Miami went to Cincinnati. Miami 15, Cincinnati 27. Obviously, that game sparked a lot more conversation than just football.
Of course. It's pretty fucked up.
Yeah, and it's not a great situation. So hopefully Tua recovers well. All indications are he is, but I think they should proceed with extreme caution here.
Bro, if I was him, I'd retire. I'd sue.
I'm not gonna go and say he should or shouldn't do on all this stuff. A lot of people have had bad hits to the head,
Sure.
and kept playing. But I mean, whatever he wants to do, go for it. But overall, takeaways from the game: Cincinnati's back to 2-2. That's about it.
Time for the division lead, baby.
I think Cleveland's technically got the lead right now, don't they?
We're all two. I mean, we're all.
No,
two.
but like through tiebreakers, I think
yeah,
Cleveland has
it's
it.
Cleveland, then I think Baltimore, then us.
Then you, then Pittsburgh.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
tough for them, but no.
Tough for them. I mean, they're fine. They're whatever. They knew what they were doing this year.
Yeah, and getting Kenny in now is probably the right call, but. For being 2-2 and having the rest of the division in a tough division also somehow find their way to 2-2, that's huge. Especially after a rocky start, it's a saving grace the Bengals definitely needed this season right at the early quarter. Hopefully we're able to take advantage of it. That's what you're hoping for, obviously. But I would also say that this is kind of a game that they needed to be back in. Just they needed to win this one no matter what, regardless of if Baltimore won or if Cleveland also won, and it was, we'd still be behind in the standings. Much needed. It was obviously.
I mean, everything broke your way this weekend.
A little bit.
For
a little bit. I think the Bengals are starting to turn into a lucky team, but knock on wood, I don't want to speak that into existence just yet.
I mean, you might as well just take the luck while you can get it.
Give us the luck, baby. I mean, honestly, now that I'm a fan, I like to bring a certain air of good fortune towards the team. So
yeah.
Hopefully that works out for us. But it's good to be tied for the division lead when we really kind of don't deserve that right now. However, we played well against a talented roster, and it sucks that Tua was playing because you could obviously tell he wasn't doing what Tua was doing earlier in the season. No. So I wouldn't say this is a bad game on him by any means.
This is more an unfortunate game that he was even in.
Yeah, I feel honestly terrible for the guy. It's a fuck situation. So I don't want to say anything about him because, honest to God, I would have actually preferred a game where he is at 100% to really test us and see, check our mettle a little bit better. But good teams win in situations like this when they need to, and the Bengals have kind of fixed a little bit of the mental fortitude issues that seem to be haunting the early season.
I really wish that you guys would have played a team that was more similar to Baltimore at some point this year, just because Baltimore's so polar opposite of like everybody else. Just to have like a more like accurate idea of what we might see. Totally. But to be fair, Baltimore is a pretty unique beast. But
totally fair. No better. Baptism by fire is kind of the best way to figure that one out. I am obviously confident going into this upcoming week that we are obviously going to do well because I'm a fan and that's what we do. However, I think the defense proved that they were good. Teddy was obviously able to move the ball and move the offense with a loaded roster, so I'm not super worried that the Dolphins are going to be...
No, I'm not worried about Miami.
I don't think they're going to be too far off from what they were doing. I think Teddy can play... Teddy, this is almost like the Saints.
Teddy and Tua are really close.
Yeah, very similar. So
yeah.
I think this team's built around a guy like Teddy, like Tua, who they can succeed no problem. You're just going to see a lot of ducks, which is, always fun to hunt them in Florida. So we'll have to see what some of these AFC East teams do for them.
Listen, if there's any players that you want to that you're trusting to run down some ducks. I mean, Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill are not some bad choices.
No, you got some of the best options in the league.
So yeah, Cincinnati back to even. Honestly, it seems like every team, with the exception of just a couple, are sort of they're all even.
Yeah, getting back on track.
I don't even want to say back on track. A lot of these teams fell to it and all that. The first quarter of the season broke weird in a lot of ways. It was.
I think the good teams are having to go back to 2-2, and I think some bad teams that started off hot have fallen back down to earth a little bit.
Yeah. So right now, I think half the league's 2-2. So it's okay, cool,
wide open.
I mean, 3 teams in the AFC North are 2-2. Yeah. All 4 teams in the NFC West are 2-2. The NFC East, shocker, almost all of them are 3-1 except the Eagles are 4-0 and Washington's 1-3. But it's that one's doing above. But yeah, whole bunch of 2-2s. That's fine. Miami falls to 3-1. Not too worried about them. They just need to regroup. I don't think there was a ton of malicious intent involved in what happened with Miami. I think they were just a mishandling. No, I don't think anything was malicious. I think it was just a mishandled situation. I mean, obviously they dealt with some people involved with it. They fired the doctor there. So I don't think that'll happen. I don't know how long he sits out for. I get the feeling Miami's going to proceed with extreme caution, though.
As they should.
So yeah. Moving on to a game that was in England. Minnesota 28, New Orleans 25. Ends on a double doink for the Saints. No good. The Saints have just sort of been in a bunch of these games this year where it's close, but they always end up on the losing end of it. Usually that's the Vikings type of thing, where they're just they'll play you close but lose.
It's a good setup for a quarterback, I think, is really what it's going for.
Yeah. I think that this is a game, it could have gone either way. I would have liked to have seen Minnesota win by a little bit more, but I'm not shocked. New Orleans isn't going to get blown out by a ton of people. Yeah. They're going to play most people tough. They might not win them.
Yeah.
But they're not going to be a team that gets bulldozed.
Honestly, Vikings, I'm confused on because sometimes they look good.
I can't be confused by the Vikings because this is all they've done for the last 5 years.
I know, but that's what's interesting is that new head coach and it's the same Vikings. I don't understand that.
Well, I get what you're saying, but I'm also I see the Chargers do this. I see the Falcons do this. I've seen the Browns do this. The Bengals have done this. A lot of these teams do this where it's it really goes beyond. It goes beyond just who's got the head coaches. I guess so. I mean, Minnesota. Yeah, they've just been like this.
I know, perennial chokers for sure.
Yeah,
absolutely. But at the same and inconsistent. But it genuinely, I don't know how with Justin Jefferson, I genuinely don't understand how.
Well, he went off.
No, I know he went off, and I'm not knocking him at all. How do you not feed that guy more and more and more?
Because they got plenty of other good weapons. They still scored almost 30, so it's not like they.
I'm not knocking them. I'm just saying that 1 week they have a great well thought out game.
Well, I'll tell you right now why you don't. I'll tell you right now why you don't feed them. Why you don't feed him more? Did you see the Rams?
Oh, absolutely. The double and triple covers they're putting on the guy is ridiculous.
That's why you can't just throw it to Justin Jefferson every single time.
I think you open it up more by throwing it down on Thielen so you can get him off. Yeah. So you can open him up a little bit more. But
yeah. But I'm just saying he gets his fair share of targets.
Give him more. That's what I'm saying. Give him even more.
Fair enough. But overall, the Vikings, I think they're 3-1.
They 3-1?
Yeah.
I thought they were 2-2.
Nope, they're 3-1 because they're still atop the North.
They only lost to their.
They lost week 2 to the Eagles.
They beat the Rams though.
Have they played the Rams? They played Green Bay, then Philly.
Philly.
Then someone else. It wasn't the Rams. And then
who am I thinking of?
I don't know.
How can I not remember?
They definitely didn't play the Rams because the Rams had 2 losses, and it's Buffalo and San Fran.
That's right.
So they definitely didn't play them. So then they played someone else, beat them, and then I think it might have been Detroit.
Oh,
it might have been. It might have been.
It was like.
It might have been Detroit.
Was it a little bit of a shootout?
Probably the Lions. The Lions have been in a lot of shootouts. Yeah, I don't know, and then they beat New Orleans.
All right, well,
good on them. Saints fall to 1-3. This is sort of just the Saints have just The ball hasn't bounced their way a few times, but I'm also just not. It's just not the Saints here. They know that. I think this is one of those teams that you expected to be pretty much what they are. They're going to be a tough out, but you'll probably get them.
Yeah, you can beat them based on talent, but they're going to make it work for it.
Yep. So Minnesota topped the NFC North, tied with Green Bay in terms of record, but they beat Green Bay, so they had the tiebreaker. So we'll see. I like the Vikings roster, but they're so hot and cold that I just don't know about them.
It's just tough. Every time you want to root for them, like every time you're betting on the money line, guys, they fucking should.
I mean, like I said last week, I was like, I'm trying to figure out, okay, what is real with these teams? Like, what are the things that keep showing up? For the Vikings, like, Justin Jefferson's really good, and they can rush the passer with Zadarius Smith and Danielle Hunter.
True.
Other than that, I don't really know. Other than that, it's all sort of been on, off, on, off. Dalvin Cook has 2 great games, 2 duds.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. So, we'll see. This will be a team that I want to see them run into some more high-caliber teams and then really, really get a read on them. But right now, they're just sort of... They're a team that I think will come out on the winning end of most just good teams.
Yeah.
And then will probably be too inconsistent to beat the great teams.
I think that's probably what ends up happening. Because I think the Philly game was just basically a foreshadowing of how the season's going to go for them. Is they'll play great, everybody else, and then when they get to a good playoff team, it's going to be rad.
Yep. And speaking of good playoff teams, the Buffalo Bills were at the Baltimore Ravens. Buffalo 23, Baltimore 20. Tale of two halves. First half, Buffalo really struggling. Fumbles, tipped balls that got intercepted. And second half, Buffalo is just like, all right, enough of that. And
the Josh Allen
stormed back. Baltimore first half looked great, looked really awesome. Opportunistic. Lamar Jackson played really well. I mean, these two teams, I won't be shocked if they play again. I think if they do, it'll probably be in Buffalo. But I don't feel that much worse about either of these teams coming out of it. It felt like I had said this last week. If this game was a blowout, I'd be concerned for one of them.
Sure.
Wasn't a blowout. They both flexed their muscles on each other for a while. Buffalo just overcame it, which was good to see. It was good to see Buffalo win an ugly game. One where they came back from 17 down to take it.
It's a good convincing win for sure that, of that contender status.
Yep.
Also for the Ravens, I would actually say there is something to genuinely be slightly concerned about. It's not world ending, it's not oh shit, but that's 2 games that were collapsing. Yep. And it's almost like, I think they figured it out. Like, I don't think it's... Again,
it doesn't feel like it's something they're going to do a ton.
Yeah.
It feels like there might be a style of team that can do it on them. Maybe. Yeah. But you might have to... You got to deal with some... I don't know. It's so tough for me to say that I feel worse about a team when Buffalo does it, because we've seen Buffalo... They can score 23.5 anytime.
Totally.
So it's just... I mean, the Miami one worries me more than this, I guess. And
that one was a huge collapse.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I come away feeling more confidently that it's just Baltimore's a team. I don't think that they would beat Buffalo if they played again. Yeah. But I come away from it thinking, okay, Buffalo has met a team that they can't roll.
Yeah.
Like, I think Baltimore is the type of, caliber team that they're not going to bulldoze them.
I agree. Yeah, just, I don't know, 2 weeks out of 4, finding a way to just collapse in the second half is not a good look.
I really wish they hadn't played in the rain, just because it also just makes for the weird stuff, like the fumbles and stuff like that. It's like, damn it. Yeah. But ultimately...
It takes away from the fun.
The only thing that I'll say for them, different than, when San Francisco played in that rainstorm, A, that one was worse, but B, these are 2 teams that are going to have to play in inclement weather because they're both in the Northeast.
Yeah.
So...
Get used to it now.
Yeah, so it was probably the first one for them. I think it probably was.
I think it was
the first weather game for them.
Yeah.
But a lot of the teams in the Northeast were playing in a rainstorm. So all the teams up there just deal with it. This game sort of went how I thought. I thought it'd be close, but I thought Buffalo would take it.
Pretty much
and they did. So good on them.
Thank you, Buffalo. Thank you, Bills Mafia.
Yeah.
You're the best. Bengals.
They've got Bildos coming your way.
Bengals and Bills are just best friends forever.
There you go. Yeah. This was a game that I was really interested in this weekend because it felt like a game of like, okay, these are two teams that'll probably be hanging around towards the end. So that was good. One team in the next game will definitely not be hanging around towards the end. Washington at Dallas. Washington 10, Dallas 25. Washington's not good.
No, they're bad.
Not shocked.
No.
I was
optimistic.
I've been on this all offseason. Washington doesn't have anything.
I was optimistic, but optimistic is a far cry from believing in.
Yeah.
And it's tough to see.
You almost wanted to pick them to win the East at one point, just to be shitty, I think.
Genuinely for the money or for the parlay of the division winner parlays.
Yeah.
Genuinely because the odds were so astronomical, it was like sprinkle.
Honestly, I'm feeling like real good about all the division predictions I've done, except maybe one of them.
I'm confident in like 6 out of 8. I think there's 2 I might have missed on. We'll get to it.
Yeah, as I'm looking through, there's only one where I'm like, ooh. Dallas is showing some stuff that is real, which is Dallas can play defense. Specifically, they can rush.
Yeah.
Parsons and Lawrence are both really good. I think Dallas, like, in terms of pass rushing stats, ranks like 3rd in everything.
Their defense is looking good.
Which is, hey,
yeah.
If you're top 3 in pass rush stuff, I mean, it's Buffalo, San Fran, and Dallas that are like at the top of all the pass rush stats.
Is Cooper Rush a viable quarterback in this league?
No, don't do this.
I'm doing
this. He's not.
He is.
He hasn't been asked to do a lot.
Well, he's got a great connection with Noah Brown. Noah Brown. Noah Spence?
Who they beat? Washington. They beat
us.
You. Oh, they beat you. Yeah, they did. I forgot about that.
It's a big win.
And then the other one was the Giants. So they beat you, the Giants, and Washington. I don't feel any of those are like particularly like, oh shit, like the Cooper Rush can do a thing. If he plays the next 2 weeks, I don't think they'll win the next 2 weeks.
Who are they playing this upcoming week?
They go Rams and Philly. They might get Rams. But I don't think they get Philly. But I think even if they get the Rams, it's not going to be on the back of their offense.
True.
So I don't, dude. Dak Prescott, he might not be an A+ quarterback, but he's like a high end of the B tier.
Sure.
And like this is somebody who threw for 4,500 yards and like 30 touchdowns last year. He's not like a scrub player.
No,
he got
quality.
He got hurt in the first week of the year when everybody looked weird.
Yeah.
Like what? It's stupid. He's a backup quarterback that came in and beat bad teams. Good.
Good. That's what you want.
Yeah, good. You did your job. You guys thought you were a quality team that could play power football. You've done it, and you beat bad teams doing it. Great. Don't kid yourself into thinking you're going to win a shootout with Cooper Rush.
Damn, you do not like Cooper Rush.
It's just stupid.
You went in on him.
It's just stupid. I said he's a quality backup.
I think he's dope.
But he is a backup.
I don't know. It's pretty dope. I can't wait to see him on the Panthers roster next year.
I mean, Carolina's not getting him on there. Carolina's getting C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young.
No, I was just making a joke at the Panthers' expense, but yeah.
But I mean, listen, good on them. They beat Washington. They've gone 2-0 in the division with them and beat you guys. Cool. But I don't know, man. Does anybody really think
he's electric?
Whatever you want to say.
He's electric.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gives you a rush.
Absolutely, he does.
Yeah. But I don't know. It's just Dak is not. Everyone puts way too much blame on Dak when things go wrong there. Dak's like the opposite of most quarterbacks, where if it goes wrong, it's all his fault. If it goes right, it's all someone else's. Like most quarterbacks, it's the exact opposite. It's like if they win, wow, that guy's great. If they lose, like all these other dudes let him down. Not in Dallas. It's all like
Jerry World, something else.
Yeah, so it's just like, but don't forget, Dak is not bad. He's better than definitely 2 of the other quarterbacks in that division. Him and Jalen Hurts are.
Sure.
I mean, I would say body of like work, you'd say Dak's better, but Jalen Hurts could prove that wrong this year.
Yeah.
But like overall body of work and career wise, Dak.
Resume wise, yeah.
Dak's the best.
Based on resume, I say based on potential.
Yeah. But it's like, okay, so say you get to the playoffs, and you're like, okay, so we're going to have Cooper Rush try to outduel Aaron Rodgers. Good luck.
Cooper Rush all day.
I don't think so. Nope.
Yeah, probably not.
So, but I mean, when Dak has played Green Bay, they beat Green Bay before. And they played close with them every other time. So it's like, if they get there, Dak's an actual viable option.
Yeah.
So, I get it's fun to talk about, and Cowboys fans, I think even most Cowboys fans are sort of like, yeah, okay. But there's always this small segment of people that are just like, oh, they found Tom Brady.
Right.
Drew Bledsoe went out, and there's Tom. No.
Right.
It's good. He's a good backup. Won the games against the bad teams. You still want Dak back as soon as possible. You'd ideally want him back by Philly.
Yeah.
I don't know if he plays this weekend. I heard he started throwing, but he might not have all the grip back to do it.
I think you might as well just let him. I wouldn't even rush him for this week.
No, but I'm just saying, by Philly, you probably want him.
Absolutely.
Granted, even if he plays, Philly will be favored. And if he loses in Philly, that cannot be some cry of we need Cooper Rush back.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because
it's Philly.
Yeah.
Philly's loaded.
Because it's just listen, if they'll both lose in Philly. So
yeah, neither one wins.
Yeah, and if it comes down to actually needing to throw the ball, you'd rather have Dak throw it in Philly than Cooper Rush. So, but overall, Dallas winning the games they should win, showing really good traits on defense. Trayvon Diggs has not been boom or bust this year; he's just been boom.
Yeah, he has been good this year.
Yeah, so he's strapped people up. I mean, this week, strapped up McLaurin. Giants, okay. And then you guys, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. So he's played some good receivers too, and put the clamps on them.
He's looked good for sure.
So
definitely put the critics to rest a little bit.
Yep. So that's really great. Parsons, Lawrence, awesome.
As advertised.
Yep. So looking good. Washington, not ideal. So
yeah, I got nothing to say about them. They look terrible.
No, yeah, you can put a nail in them. They're done.
It's bad.
Moving on. Seattle 48 at Detroit 45. I picked this game wrong.
Same.
But I don't feel bad about picking it wrong. I'd pick it the same way if they played again this weekend. I mean, the stat of the year is the Lions have the number one scoring offense and the 32nd scoring defense. Yeah, so it's they are averaging 35 points a game scored, but they average giving up 35.5.
Yeah.
So it's
it's a glass cannon.
Damn.
Yeah, you got to put up 6 more points, and you have to literally put up 50 to win this game, and that's ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, the good news is we know what they need to focus on getting better.
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, I don't think their offense continues at this pace.
No.
But I think it stays good.
I think it's on the right track. I mean, you got the right pieces. Josh Reynolds obviously looks pretty decent. Mm-hmm. Not asking him to do much when you got Amon-Ra over there.
I think he was out this week too, wasn't he?
Yeah, Amon-Ra was out, and Josh Reynolds still looked pretty good. So,
yeah.
I mean, and you don't even need him to do that every week.
Yeah.
Because Amon-Ra looks good. Is DeAndre Swift out for the year, or is he back in a couple weeks?
I haven't heard he's out for the year. He might be.
I don't think he's out for the year, but I couldn't remember what the injury was.
I haven't.
He's not.
I've been keeping a pretty close watch on injuries and who's out significantly. I don't think he's out for the year.
No, I think he comes back pretty soon.
Yeah. Hopefully, but
the sooner he comes back, the better. But Jamal Williams has been a great pickup for them.
Yep.
Bringing him in, and he's filled that role excellently. Genuinely, the offense, fun to watch, even though it almost feels like it's patched together. I wouldn't say, it's missing a sexy pick, other than I think Amon-Ra is pretty good, number one.
Mm-hmm.
Hawkinson, can't forget him. But
played great.
Yeah, he continues to play great. Looks pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Quiet. Not a lot of people talk about him, man. Genuinely.
Well, I mean, he's in Detroit.
Yeah,
they don't really talk about any of the people in Detroit.
Yeah, we'll see them on Thanksgiving, and absolutely, Hawkinson will probably get 2 catches and on 3 targets. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Appreciate it. I'm not gonna really say anything about the Seahawks. It's just
I'll say this about the Seahawks. They're still not good. They're not going to be a team that's picking at the top of the draft, though. I think the Seahawks will probably pick near the bottom end of the top 10.
8-ish.
Yeah, anywhere like the 8 to 12 range, I think is where Seattle probably lands.
They're
which,
putting up
by
wins.
the way, for me, is ideal.
Yeah.
Because that means they're definitely not getting Bryce Young or CJ Stroud.
Absolutely. the further
I'm I want them to win just enough to not be in striking distance.
The further Geno Smith tries to stretch out the last of his career,
he's played shockingly well.
I don't buy it.
Oh, I don't buy it either.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, through 4 weeks, he has like the highest quarterback grade. He graded in like the 90s.
PFF loved him all preseason too, and he looked fucking terrible.
No, well, I mean, but it should that stuff is genuine though in terms of who's playing good.
Well, I think it's absolutely. But I mean, at the same time,
I'm not saying he's for real, but I'm saying he clearly looks better than he ever did with the Jets, Giants, Chargers. Anyway, I'm just giving like props where it's due. Like he's genuinely improved.
Good for him. Genuinely, yeah, he does not look as terrible as he did. But
nothing else on the Seahawks is that good. But I'm just saying, like,
Drew Lock's team.
Really.
Yes.
Whatever you say. The way he's going, there is no way he's playing this year. Also, I thought for sure that Drew Lock would play this year. I'm not sure he does.
Geno falls back there very soon. It's the 32nd fucking ranked defense scoring wise.
No, I know, but I'm saying that they probably just won't switch him just for these couple of games.
No, they're gonna. I think give him mid-season-ish, maybe 10 games.
I was about to say he just bought himself to week 10 through these first 4 games.
He's got himself at least to the midway point, but because they're gonna have some faith in him for sure, even if he falls off next week, even, and the week after. But absolutely, I don't know, like.
I thought the Lions would get this one.
I've had them to pick. I picked them to win. It genuinely sucks because I feel bad for Jared Goff, who's been in 3 of the 20 highest scoring games.
I mean, they're just so shocking in that they score the most points in the league. Like they've scored the most touchdowns by a pretty wide margin, and they're 1-3.
Yeah, it's honestly kind of a bummer, but I mean, it just shows that the Lions are on the right track, even more so than they were last year. They really do have some pieces, and again, I do think some more of these wins start stringing together coming up. They play the Bears twice a year, so I think,
they'll get that.
Yeah, they're good right there. There's 2 wins right there. I think they split one with the Vikings potentially, maybe, and I don't know about Green Bay. I think Aaron Rodgers just Detroit.
Green Bay is tough because I'm getting a lot of fool's gold vibes from Green Bay.
I agree,
but we'll get there.
Yeah,
but yeah, Detroit's just gotta. They just can't be 32nd in defense.
No, it's
like if you guys can get up, you don't even have to get to middle of the pack because they're gonna be bad. Obviously, right. I mean, if you're playing like this, you're just not talented enough yet. But I think you could probably you can get yourself to playing like 24th best instead of 32nd.
Yeah, no, I think that defense has got to step up. I think Jeff Okudah's got to be better.
He's played well for the majority of the year.
He can't do it all, but he's got to be that lockdown guy where he can shut down.
I think with what they need more than anything else is they need those guys to rush better.
They do need more out of the D-line.
That covers up so many issues.
Absolutely. I think that's definitely where I'd even see if somebody wants to get rid of a high-profile guy, like during the trade block.
Like Trey Hendrickson.
Yeah. We're going to move on from him. Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, I think if there's somebody who's happy on a bad team,
I think I could probably list you like 10 guys you'd trade Trey Hendrickson for.
Go for it.
Right now? Okay.
Do at least 5.
Oh, that's easy. Okay. You'd rather have Myles Garrett.
Okay, do 10.
Okay.
Yeah, would rather have Myles Garrett.
Okay. Are we gonna I would say TJ Watt, but he's not healthy, so I'll take him out for now.
TJ Watt in general, yes.
Yeah. I think you'd rather have either of the Bosas.
I would take him over Joey. I'd take Nick for sure, yeah.
Well, Nick for sure.
Joey with injuries, though, it's just like...
That's what... Okay.
That's the
TJ Watt thing.
That's the only... Well, TJ Watt got hurt this year.
Yeah, okay. So...
I'm saying Joey Bosa gets injured a little bit more often.
Fair enough. So Nick Bosa.
But I would take Nick. Absolutely.
So we got Myles Garrett, TJ Watt, Nick Bosa. Let me go back through my pass rushers. I should have thought of this beforehand.
Yeah. I knew I'd catch you.
You won't catch me.
I knew I'd catch you.
Are we No, I'm just going to do edge defenders. I was going to just go pass rushers in general. because there's a couple interior linemen that are really good.
Yeah.
You won't take him over Khalil Mack. You'll be a homer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe prime Khalil Mack, but not now.
Same thing with Von Miller, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
Prime Von Miller is an easy choice.
Yeah, Prime Von Miller.
This version of Von Miller.
No, I don't. It's nothing against him. I still think he's playing at a high level, but
it's nothing against him, but
it's just.
This is one you should take him. You should take, but I don't know if you will. What about Max Crosby from the Raiders?
I like my guy Trey.
He's so underrated.
Max Crosby is really good. It's not disrespect. I'm just being a homer.
That's so He's been like a top 3 pass rusher for like the last 3 years.
Totally being a homer right now.
Okay.
Yeah, genuinely, I like Max Crosby a lot.
Yeah, he's awesome.
You are right. He is underrated.
Oh yeah. And again, it's just a problem with the Raiders' defense. The rest of it's not good.
Exactly. You don't see him.
If their secondary was good at all, his sack numbers would be crazy because he gets so much pressure, but they're just able to get it off.
He's genuinely unstoppable. But
yeah,
it's a bummer for sure.
Definitely. I just gotta go through more teams here. Problem is, we're already like 7 deep, and I would have taken all of them over Trey Hendrickson.
Biased.
It's not
biased.
Some of these players have had one game that equals Trey Hendrickson's season. It's true. Happened this weekend.
No.
It did.
His entire season?
His 4 games, yeah.
Oh, that's what you... Okay, that's what you...
Yeah, like this season, not entire, past season.
I was like...
No. No, this first...
It's like, what are you saying?
No, this first quarter is... Here, we'll do this... We'll finish this up again later. I gotta actually go through I gotta go through all the rushers.
Yeah, you can create a list for me and I'll go to town.
I will. Yeah, I gotta go through all the rushers.
But anyways, sorry to lose focus, but...
Oh, shit, I should have... What about Micah Parsons? I'll show that one out real quick.
Micah Parsons.
Okay.
Yeah, he's, young and unstoppable.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of both.
About Chase Young. The injury thing might be the thing there.
Yeah, I have no doubt that Chase Young
He's such a wild card.
Can be good again.
Yeah.
At post-injury, I have no doubt. I'm not doubting him at all, but absolutely I'd take Trey Hendrickson.
All right, fair enough. So yeah, let's get back on track here.
Yeah.
But yeah, Seattle got the win. I think Seattle's shown that they're not the worst team in the league. They're probably closer to like a scrappy team that's going to lose more than they win.
Yeah,
but they're a team that on I'm not going to say they can beat every team, but any given week they could beat a good team.
Yeah. And
then anybody could beat them any given week too. So
they could not show up one week and then 48 points.
Yeah. So moving on.
They have the explosiveness at least.
Yeah, moving on from them. Chargers at the Texans. Chargers 34, Texans 24. Game wasn't even that close.
No,
Chargers rolled.
Sure. Yeah, Chargers look
2-2. I'm still so pissed at them for the Jacksonville thing though, where I'm like, yeah, okay, great, you finally did what you're supposed to do once.
They in a competitive AFC, they absolutely should.
Honestly, the AFC is looking less competitive than we thought it was going to be.
I think it's too early. I think it's definitely going to start heating up very soon.
I don't think most of the teams we were really, really looking at. I think there's really only 2 or 3 that are true contenders, and a lot of other ones that are just good.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah, so I think it's actually a lot closer to like a normal year than we thought it was going to be, where we were all sort of like, there's like 5 teams in the AFC that can legitimately win the Super Bowl. I think it's probably closer to 3.
Yeah.
And really, 3 is being generous because 2 of them have really separated.
Yeah.
But I'll say that at least 1, maybe 2 more like emerge by the end of the year, but 2 of them look nasty. The Chargers, great job. You beat the Texans. Whoopity-doo. I'm still pissed at you. That's my poem. So, yeah, great. You beat the team that has no wins. Happy for you.
Yeah, I really don't
get beat up by Jacksonville. Unfucking believable.
Yeah, I don't have much to say about this game other than Chargers did what they were supposed to do.
You did what you're supposed to do. Great. You'll do that against every team but the ones you actually needed.
Yeah. Hopefully Justin Herbert is on his way back to being 100% because I can't imagine him playing with that fucking rib. But
he's got to be on so many painkillers.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't think he normally wears a flak jacket, but he better be.
He is literally like padding up as much as
he's got to get the whole Cam Newton set up.
Yeah, basically at this point. But yeah, no, I think good job getting the win. Keep doing it. Hopefully you can.
I think they can, but I'm just like, it's just annoying.
It's tough.
It's just the
it's
Chargers.
The same thing with the Vikings.
The Chargers.
I put my trust in you because the second I put Mike Will in my lineup and the second I put money line Chargers, it's not gonna.
This is the
out.
exact thing I said like with the Vikings, where it's like it doesn't seem to matter who's there, how good the players are. Somehow, this organization
Cursed.
is like shattering mirrors, walking under ladders, and has black cats running around.
Yep.
I don't know how. I don't know what they need to do to break whatever curse is there.
Yeah.
But whatever it is, it rears its head at the worst times.
Yeah, you got
like in Kansas City in the fourth quarter, or against Jacksonville at home to bounce back. It's like how. Again, trying to pick the things about the Chargers that are real. Herbert's a beast. That's it.
Yeah.
Everything else is so weird.
Yeah, you're rolling the dice every weekend, and I think Justin Herbert's doing the exact same thing, just being like, dear God, please.
Yeah, and the problem with the only thing you know about them being Herbert's great is Herbert's compromised. So it's like any given week, this thing will just look like absolute crap.
Yeah.
For example, pick a team like the top 3 pass rushing teams. So if they played Buffalo, San Fran, Dallas, they are in so much trouble because Slater's out, now Bosa's out. It's like they never have good luck.
Yeah.
Like the 3 injuries they have are arguably the 3 worst ones you can have. Not to mention Keenan Allen's missed time too. Now Herbert's hurt, Bosa's on IR, Slater's on IR. Damn.
Yeah, it was supposed to be Chargers' year, and unfortunately that curse made sure that that was not the case.
Every year's the Chargers' year until the season starts.
That's exactly right. But
yeah.
Tough, but obviously, you want to root for the team. It's just tough to watch.
I so badly want to root for them. They just really annoy me.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, but great. You beat the Texans. Thank God. Moving on. Tennessee at Indy. Tennessee 24, Indy 17. This was a game I picked wrong, not necessarily because I thought it couldn't go this way, but because I picked Indy in the preseason to win the division, and I was like, you know what? None of that's out of the picture, so I'm just going to pick them now to just stick by it. I didn't particularly feel confident in it. I just decided to stick by my guns.
Fair.
And, I mean, yeah, I'm not that shocked. Tennessee, they're just scrappy. They're sort of the different end of like what Minnesota is.
Yeah.
Where they'll play a lot of close games, but somehow they'll win it.
Yeah.
Minnesota will usually like find a way to choke. Tennessee just has a way of if they're able to keep you within range, they'll find a way to like grind you out.
Yeah.
It's the teams that will just blast by them where they're in trouble.
Yeah.
But teams like Indy, they can have a handle on.
Absolutely.
So I thought the Colts we're going to win this division going into the year just sort of by default.
Sure.
Not because I thought they were great. I've been on the record saying that I think Ballard and Reich should be on the hot seat and that the Colts have been mismanaged and misconstructed. That has shown. So I've been right on that. But yeah, I stuck with them just to be like, we're too like young in the season to completely say I was wrong, but I feel pretty good about saying that they probably won't win this division. But yeah, Tennessee ground them out. Derrick Henry's looking like Derrick Henry. They still don't have much of a passing game to speak of, but they pretty much knew that was going to be the case when they traded away A.J. Brown. So, yeah, Tennessee back to even.
Yeah, good on them. Way to bounce back from 0-2 with 2 big must-win games. We'll see. Honestly, I don't know how this division really shakes out. Part of me thinks Jaguars.
This is the one division of the ones I picked where I'm like,
yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know.
I just know it's not Houston.
Yeah, it's not Houston. It literally could be any one of these other teams.
Kind of want it to be Jacksonville.
I really want it to be Jacksonville, but at the same time,
if I had to pick if I had to pick today based on what I've seen, I'd pick Tennessee.
I mean,
other than the Chargers game, Jacksonville has not looked particularly overwhelming.
Yeah.
Tennessee's at least shown like consistency in how they play.
They're a gritty team. They're always competitive. They're able. I always just like they're well built for a long season of toughing it out, and none of these other teams in the AFC South really are. Like,
nope.
So that's kind of based on you put these 4 teams in a marathon, who makes it the furthest? I think it's got to be Tennessee, just because Vrabel knows what he's doing.
One of them might be able to sprint better, but this is a marathon, and Tennessee will last.
Exactly, and Tennessee's very good at making sure that they play smart. They play, they play good football near the end of the year. They are a finely tuned machine, in my opinion. It's not a fucking Ferrari by any means. But
it's a nice, reliable minivan.
I would not even say minivan. I'd say it's a reliable sedan. Like you're not you're not a loser for having a sedan, but you're not going to car shows with your Ford Focus.
I mean, listen, no matter who wins this division, it's one and done in the playoffs, right? Barring something wild. Who the hell is a team in this division gonna be?
I think Tennessee could probably,
other than Cincinnati.
Shut the fuck up. I think Tennessee could probably eke out a win. Tennessee. Here's how I can imagine it. Tennessee Chargers. Chargers lose.
Chargers would shit the bed.
Chargers would shit the bed.
God, I still wouldn't pick them.
I think they're a gritty team, so that they could take advantage.
They're gritty.
So that they could take advantage of a team that may shit the bed. That's why I would say that maybe they win, but I wouldn't say that they dominantly win a playoff game and look like contenders.
Yeah, and speaking of shitting the bed, Indianapolis is wildly disappointing.
My Jonathan Taylor keeper pick is looking
great.
Awful. I'm hurting.
Yeah.
Do you see the pain in my eyes right now, man? Like, this shit's real, dude.
It's real funny.
I'm 0-4.
I'm 0-4.
I'm 0-4 in a different league. I'm not 0-4 in ours, and we play this week, by the way.
Do we?
Yeah.
My whole fantasy team's injured.
You want to make a trade?
No.
On Live Gamer?
Not anymore. I was going to trade you James Robinson, then Cordell Patterson got on IR, so now I need him.
I genuinely wanted that. I wanted James Robinson, but...
I know, but now my other back is, hurt. So that back's hurt. I got Herbert, who's hurt. At any given moment, that can switch. Keenan Allen's been out.
I'll give you Antonio Gibson and Zeke, so you have 2 running backs.
I'm good.
Come on.
No. I don't even care. This has been from the jump.
This has been one of the worst fantasy seasons I've ever.
By week 1, I had 3 starters out to injuries. I was like, it's just that year. So I've accepted it. I know what's up. But yeah, Tennessee of the AFC South teams, I think I'd give it to them right now. But I picked Indy this weekend just based on sticking to my preseason pick. Won't be doing that anymore. So
yeah, from what I've heard, Irsay's pissed, and both are on the hot seat, which is exactly where they should be. I
said that before the year that they needed to be, and boom.
It's not looking good for them for sure, especially with a team that's genuinely decent around the edges. I'd say the core just needs those explosive outside pieces.
Just needs the pieces that matter.
Yeah. Well, exactly. It's got a good core, so it's not like a complete rebuild situation. But
their O-line is the highest paid in the league and playing among the worst because other than Quentin Nelson and Ryan Kelly, the other 3 pieces are all new and inexperienced.
Yeah.
And no receivers. Matt Ryan does not play well under pressure. Jonathan Taylor's out. No tight end to speak of, so offensively, you're boned.
They look
Shaq Leonard, missing time with a concussion and a broken nose now.
Oof.
DeForest Buckner has been dealing with an elbow injury, and their secondary is nothing to write home about. So they're really not that talented, and the team and the pieces that are talented are out. So looking great.
I'm talking about when the new head coach comes in.
Yeah, there you go.
And the GM, they're not. It's not a complete rebuild, but
yeah,
definitely a lot of work to do.
Yep. So moving on. Chicago 12 at the New York Giants 20. Giants 3-1, just like we all thought they'd be.
Right.
Again, there's some fool's gold here. They had some really nice breaks in the schedule for them to open up the year.
Chicago's the worst team in the league. I would honestly say.
It's them or Carolina.
They're
both bad.
They're both.
Listen,
really
there's a couple teams.
I want to see them play. That would be awful football.
I would just love it. I always love the option of the 2 worst teams get to play for the first overall pick.
It should always be the case.
Yeah. And it has to be, and it can't be the loser gets it. No, the winner gets the first overall pick.
Yeah, winner gets first overall.
Yeah, so nobody's gonna tank the game.
Yeah.
I just think that'd be funny.
No, I want it in like snow weather too. Like I want it to be the worst football game I've ever seen in my life.
Oh God, it'd be great. Be like the Pro Bowl.
I would get hammered. No, the Pro Bowl is the worst for the wrong reasons. Like the Pro Bowl is the worst because these guys obviously want to protect their bodies and not get injured. And to be honest, like I don't blame them. Like you guys need to find some way to make it. Honestly, flag football of a Pro Bowl would be awesome.
Yeah, they're making it a skills competition now. But onto this game.
Yeah.
Both the Giants quarterbacks got hurt, so we got to see their third stringer, Saquon Barkley, play a little bit of quarterback. That was nice.
Oh, yeah.
Daniel Jones came back in by the end of it, but I think it was his ankle. Then Tyrod Taylor got a concussion.
Fantastic.
After throwing, I think he threw 3 passes, and I think 2 of them were either intercepted or both were like dropped interceptions. And it's like, wow, nice. Efficient work.
I guess Danny Dimes is the guy over there compared to Tyrod Taylor.
Well, you want to talk about a team that needs to be real damn careful, though, in terms of if they want to have a way of moving on from Daniel Jones. They're real close to playing themselves out of it.
Oh, yeah. I almost kind of see this team as a team that'll take a veteran. Like
maybe, but I don't know, man. I think a couple of these.
I think they're playing out of their minds right now. I definitely think that they come down a little bit. They are playing bad teams, so it's nothing to be.
I mean, hot take. I think they end the year with a losing record.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think they absolutely do. So I don't think it's the end of the world just yet when it comes to replacing Danny Dimes. But at the same time, if they do end up somehow winning 8 games and they move on from Danny because they can let him walk. I think it's a team that could probably. I don't know who would even be available.
Well, that right there is what I was about to reference. I mean, Daniel Jones, if you really want to keep him another year, you probably could. He'll probably play them to a point where they can do that. He's obviously not one of those dudes, though. And you can tell pretty quick because, like, they flash it. Even if they don't play consistent right away, like Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson their first years, you see the flashes of something special.
Yeah.
You just haven't with him.
No.
And so you know that there's absolutely a ceiling. I mean, it could be fine while they're going through what they know is a rebuild, and they're just playing better than what they should in a rebuild. But you got to be real strategic, and this was sort of the year to get veteran quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Like, this was the year where it all, like, conspired where everyone wanted to move.
Right.
Next year, I mean, what? Is Carson Wentz going to play for them or something? Like,
Jared Goff. Not Jared
maybe.
Goff.
He might be a Lion again. I think the offseason after next year is when the Lions look at that position.
Yeah, I think they definitely need more.
Unless somebody literally falls out of heaven into their lap, I think that he'll be on the Lions again. But I just don't know who the hell they would get.
Baker.
Oh, please don't.
Yeah, I genuinely, when it comes to veterans like that, I can't think of anybody right now. There's a lot of young blood in the league right now. At least getting either proving that they are the guy for their team, or
it's gonna be Cooper Rush.
That would be interesting. Or they're at least getting an opportunity to prove that they're the guy. So I think, throw Drew Lock in there. Fuck it. I want to see him ball. Get him a roster.
I still can't believe I told you agreed to it in the preseason. If he didn't beat out Geno Smith, you would stop publicly saying all this.
Robbed.
He didn't get robbed.
He absolutely did.
Whatever. I will waste no more breath on him.
Yeah, you're gonna have an aneurysm.
But I'm not gonna have an aneurysm. It's just ridiculous.
Chicago sucks.
I was about to say, let's just talk about these mediocre teams. Now, credit to the Giants. They are overachieving.
Yeah.
Chicago's not.
No.
Chicago is. I wouldn't even say they're underachieving. They're just sort of what everyone thought they'd be, which is awful.
Yeah, I think the Giants are proving that obviously the head coach is important, and Daboll does have the locker room because they're able to close out games even if it is against bad teams. I mean, decent teams beat bad teams.
Yep.
So I think Daboll's really proven that he's the right guy for New York, which is awesome to see because I do kind of root for the guy. Also, Chicago, can't even name who their head coach is. I keep forgetting who it is. Matt
Eberflus.
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
Thank God.
I don't give a shit.
The former Colts defensive coordinator.
Oh, right. The fucking GOAT over there.
Why does Chicago? It's like when they hired Tressman. You can just look at it and be like, that doesn't seem like it's gonna work.
No, I didn't like the Tressman hire either. I wanted it to work.
I can't believe they fired Lovie Smith for Mark Tressman.
Yeah, it's a fuck. The Chicago genuinely does not know what they're doing to this day, and that was years ago with Tressman.
Yeah, that was after after the 2012 season.
Yeah, that was rough. That was Mark Tressman taking Joe Flacco to the Super Bowl with the offense and everything they took.
He didn't come from the NFL, I don't think.
Tressman? No, he came from Baltimore. I thought he was Baltimore's OC.
Was he? I thought he came from outside the NFL.
I could have sworn he was Baltimore.
Maybe
I could be wrong.
Maybe he was,
but I could be wrong.
Honestly, forgive me for not being caught up on my Mark Tressman history.
Yeah, the trivia is really important, dude. No, genuinely, the Bears look terrible. Justin Fields actually looks awful, and I'm not.
And they're fucking 2-2.
Yeah, and they're somehow 2-2.
It's dumb luck.
I don't buy it at all. This is a fucking shit show.
Week 1 was pure luck.
Oh, absolutely.
And who the hell did they beat?
They beat someone on the legs of.
Was it Carolina? I don't even know.
God, it was Carolina. Blew it. No, I know they just whoever's the backup running back just completely ran out of his mind. So
I gotta know who the other team is. Because that whatever that one is, you can't lose after week 1 to a team like that. Okay. It doesn't even count. It's the Texans.
Oh, exactly.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Fine.
That's why we don't even remember.
You won the fucking toilet bowl.
This is awful team.
Okay.
I don't even watch their games. I don't even look at them as a football team right now. They're terrible.
If I'm them, by the way, I think there are ways out of this for the Bears. You just have to give up on all the things that you think might be valuable. Like Roquan Smith, we are trading right now.
He's got to be gone tomorrow.
Yeah, we need assets, baby.
Yeah, I think Cincinnati call him.
You're not going to get Roquan Smith.
I genuinely think, honestly,
just to spite you, it's going to be like Cleveland.
Oh, God, that would fucking hurt.
Just in Ohio, but not you.
I'd be okay if Buffalo got him. I don't even know if they need him, but...
They don't. They got Matt Milano and Tremaine Edmonds. They're set.
Nah, bring him in, too. Just
fuck it.
Three-headed monster. Help Allen out as much as possible. But anyways, the
Bears are dookie.
Terrible. Yeah, they're fucking doo-doo.
Yeah.
I don't even want to talk about them anymore. It makes me sick.
No, me neither. Again, I might be a little down on the Giants as like a legit team, but credit to them, they're going to beat a lot of the bad teams they play. I think
they got the right lock.
I think that it shows that the self-reflection that the Giants did this offseason and deciding to go outside of their organization, which is counter to what they usually do, they seem to have made some strides, which it's good. The Giants are a historically great franchise, and the NFL is better off when its historically great teams are doing well.
I agree.
So it's good to see the Giants sort of, I'm not going to say back on track,
I'd say Detroit,
but they are approaching the track.
They are very much Detroit Lionsing it. Except
they've won, so.
Except they're somehow winning these games.
Yeah.
I think Detroit ends up winning more games.
Yep. All right, Jacksonville 21, Philly 29. Another rain game. Good to see Philly win a game where they sort of got punched in the mouth to start. Jacksonville got the jump on them pretty quick, going up 14-0. And then Jalen Hurts and the Eagles just had their way.
Yeah,
so.
I will. This is exactly what we said last week. We want to see Jacksonville competitive. We know Philly's going to win. So genuinely, I think we got that.
God, I would have loved this game not in the rain because Jacksonville fumbled so much. Like it was, which I think this bothers me a little bit more when a team from Florida does it because you guys play and you guys should know the rain.
Yeah. I genuinely think if I was the head coach, I'd be training rain practice.
Guys, 50% of the time it's raining here.
I would genuinely just train rain practice.
But I mean, Trevor Lawrence lost 4 fumbles.
Yeah, that's...
and it doesn't help that Philly's pass rush can toy with the Jags O-line.
Yeah, absolutely.
Still don't want to do that.
Yeah, you still at least hold on to the ball.
Yeah, but I mean, it's part of its bad luck that they lost all 4, but it just happens. But overall, this is why I'm saying I think Tennessee takes the South because Jacksonville, they're clearly improved from last year.
Oh yeah.
But I think this is the exact type of team that Tennessee can just sort of hold in like holding a close game, and Jacksonville will just slowly unravel itself.
Yeah.
And then Tennessee will just be like, we scored one.
Yeah.
So,
way more polished roster and team over in Philadelphia. Jacksonville on the right track. Honestly, a little bit further than the Lions, I would even say. They genuinely look like a competitive football team.
I wouldn't say that. I think the Lions are better. The Lions' defense is just problem.
Fair. I think the offense over for the Lions is good, but genuinely, I think more as a core team, like I would take, if I had to be head coach of one of them, I would want to be head coach of Jacksonville.
Why?
First of all, you have a young quarterback who you're developing in Trevor Lawrence, so I think that's a little bit more alluring than Jared.
Yeah.
No disrespect to Jared.
I know, but what I mean, I figured that name was going to come up.
Of course.
But what else?
Genuinely, I kind of like James Robinson and Travis Etienne together. Like you got to have the right game plan and to use both of them. I think James.
I don't have a problem taking Swift.
No, and I'm not. I'm saying personally, I like the two-headed approach. I mean, granted, you get Jamal Williams and DeAndre Swift over the Lions, but I genuinely like James Robinson.
I mean, if we're breaking down the offense, I think the only thing I'd rather take on Jacksonville is Trevor Lawrence because the Lions' O-line is genuinely like pretty good.
But that's my favorite part about being coaches. I bring my guys.
Their backs are good. Amon-Ra St. Brown,
amazing,
good. Jameson Williams on the way.
Absolutely.
You want to talk about now? That's something we haven't even talked about. Their offense is that good, and Jameson Williams is not playing. So I hadn't even really thought about that.
I forget that they have him.
I mean, defensively is really both their secondaries.
Because I brought up Josh Reynolds playing good, and I completely forgot when Jameson Williams comes back, this is going to be an even more electric offense.
Yeah,
but they'll be able to put up that.
I mean, Jacksonville to me is still just not that talented. Like I think
I don't know. I like them. I'm a fan.
I want them to be good. Like I would like for them to be good. And I think some of their young pieces look good. Specifically, Devin Lloyd's playing really good at linebacker. Trayvon Walker is showing some flashes, but he's inconsistent. Fine, whatever. They drafted him to be a physical freak. Josh Allen is one of the top guys in the league in terms of pressure right now. I think he's one of only 4 guys to have over 9 pressures in a game.
And the defense is kind of where I like it because you can kind of build that defense with some solid pieces coming up, and I think
they just gotta get secondary help.
I think they gotta get secondary help, and I think you're one true wide receiver one away from that offense being a little bit more interesting than the Lions until Jameson Williams comes back. So genuinely, I don't know if it's they draft a guy and it ends up being a stud. I don't know if there's someone who ends up being available who they go for. I really don't know who that would even be.
I think depending on where they pick, drafting is probably the really good option.
I think that's the most viable option is that they're probably going to be able to draft a stud.
Yeah. Honestly, in terms of talking about this game, I'm really more interested in talking about Jacksonville and Philly because Philly just did what they're supposed to.
Yeah.
Sort of like Buffalo, they showed that they don't have to dominate every game. Like, they don't have to just, like,
they can play a gritty
own
game.
it. Yeah.
They can play a gritty game where they got to try a little bit harder.
Yeah. So, that's cool, and that's good. Philly showed that they can win resiliently rather than just easily. But Jacksonville's, they're just back to just what do you know about these teams? Like, what can you definitively say is something about this team? Jacksonville doesn't really have much of them. Like, Jacksonville's like, it's almost all up in the air. But what they've shown is when they hit the high end of it, they can really play, but they're probably not going to do it that often.
If they don't shoot themselves in the foot, they're a competitive football team. That's what I'm saying.
But they're going to shoot themselves in the foot is what I think.
Well, that's what I'm saying is if they do it, they will, and if they won't win, and that's genuinely just how it goes. And I think they're absolutely one of the teams that are just not exactly there. They're going to lose more games than they win. Mm-hmm. Not as close to the. I think if you've got the Lions going in this direction right now of going up, I think Jacksonville is doing the same thing, but just further down the line.
I think I agree with what you're saying, but I would just describe it slightly differently. I had the Lions going up like this, and the Jags going up like that.
That's fair.
Like they're all going up, but I think Jacksonville is just they're climbing slower, which I think is fair because they started a year later and from just as low.
Yeah. But my big thing is secondary help and absolutely true number one.
Secondary help, wide receiver 1. They need that O-line to be better.
Oh, and then well, of course they do. I think the line you can get in free agency, though.
Maybe.
They'll probably catch some people.
Hopefully.
Especially when you got Jacksonville money.
Yeah. But, yeah, so that game sort of went how you'd expect. Jacksonville came out with their hair on fire a little bit more than people thought. But other than that, it was Philly's game.
Yeah, pretty much.
Jets 24 at Steelers 20. Picked this one right, actually.
Same, actually.
Yeah. Well, I basically just did it purely on the fact of I refuse to pick that team if Mitch Trubisky's playing quarterback.
Yeah, that's so
that is everything it came down to, and based on what I saw in that game, if Pickett started the game, they won it.
Yeah, I think absolutely. The Trubisky move has not worked out at all. He looks timid. He looks scared out there.
Well, he looks how he looked in Chicago.
Yeah, and it's genuinely, like, I understand that O-line isn't great, so don't get me wrong. Like, I would be a little bit nervous too, but he's letting it get to him, and he's playing panic.
That is manageable, though. Like, there's a lot of quarterbacks that don't have a great line, but they'll still fire one.
No, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Is he's playing panicked as opposed to, like, taking in the moment. And I think it is ruining the Steelers, even though the Steelers, with Mike Tomlin, are always a competitive football team. It genuinely is resulting in more losses than wins because Trubisky is just not the guy.
It is officially the Pittsburgh era.
It is.
Kenny Pickett came into the game and definitely provided them a spark.
Yep.
Got them up till basically the very end. And I think had he just started the game, they won the game.
I think it's definitely possible.
We'll see. I think that this again comes down to the fact of he's going to make mistakes. He's a young quarterback. He's a rookie. It's going to happen. Cool, fine, whatever. They have good weapons. Their O-line's not hugely strong, but you can protect that if you need to.
Yeah.
Like, there's ways to help with that, and the Steelers are a smart enough team to do it.
They'll figure it out.
I don't think that they're going to be a great team. They're not going to be a playoff team or anything like that. I think that they're not going to be a doormat, though. And I'm willing to pick them in games.
We'll pick it in. Yeah.
I might not do it next week. I don't know who they're playing next week, but after next week, I want to get an idea. I was about to say, I'm pretty sure I was going through I remember that putting Kenny Pickett in, he's going to be like baptized by fire by somebody, but I didn't remember they're in Buffalo.
Yeah, I would never pick that in my life.
I don't care. The only thing that will keep me from picking Buffalo in any game this year is just injuries. Other than that, I'm basically just going to pick them all year. The only game that I might think about it in, and again, it's going to be injuries, is when they go to Kansas City. It's the only game where I'm even going to think about it.
Cincy.
No.
In Cincy.
They're going to roll you in Cincy.
Who dey?
Okay. Again, I respect your pride, but I'm just saying, like, from my perspective, they could go to San Francisco, and I'm like, listen.
Don't give a shit. I'm unwavering in my faith in the Cincinnati Bengals.
Oh, I'm unwavering in my faith for the most part, but
Joe Burrow
even
rises to the occasion.
He's not going to rise to that occasion.
He rises to every occasion.
Every?
Yes, his O-line doesn't rise to every occasion, but
he doesn't help that O-line sometimes.
Shut up. He's fine.
Shut up. Whatever.
Shut up. He's good. Good to see Zach Wilson back.
Yes. Mr. Steal Your Mom was back.
Mr. Sleeping with Giselle as we speak is back.
I don't even want to make fun of that. That's so sad.
I don't want to talk about it either, but I had to make the joke. Genuinely.
He played bad almost that entire game except the last drive. God, I'm not going to judge him too harshly because his first game.
First game back.
That better look better.
He's got to look better. Hopefully he works out the kinks. Makes it a little bit more smoother. Mm-hmm. Looks a little bit more calm.
He cannot end this year looking worse than Joe Flacco. Please, God.
Yeah, no, I think he will be kind of in a Trevor Lawrence situation where he will look much better and much more improved than he was last year. We'll have those flashes that we were hoping to see, but I think it's still far from being where they want to be. We'll
see. I mean,
I obviously have.
I think he has less excuses than Trevor Lawrence, and I'm sort of out of like giving any of these guys a lot of excuses. But we've mentioned already, Garrett Wilson, like, genuinely looks good.
Yep.
Braxton Berrios is a nice complimentary piece.
I love Braxton Berrios, dude. He's one of my favorite players.
The only thing is, their O-line is garbage.
Yeah.
Mostly due to injuries, unfortunately.
Yep.
But that's just something that happens. That's been a thing this year. A lot of O-lines are down. So that's just going to be a thing. Their defense is not awful. And I mean, there's enough pieces on the Jets where if he doesn't like show some strides, that's going to be really concerning.
Yeah, but I got faith him coming back from the injury and everything. First game back, I hope to see it improve. Again, I'm not saying he's gonna light the world on fire.
Yeah.
MVP level season, but just interesting to have him back, and I think this is a good game for him to come back in because he was allowed to make those mistakes, and I think they still would have won because Trubisky.
Yep. Moving forward, Jets. It really all comes down to Zach Wilson. They've shown that they're another team that they're feisty.
Yep.
He's going to be the thing that decides if they pull out some of those games or if they lose them all.
Yep.
For Pittsburgh, this whole year is just about Kenny Pickett now.
Yep.
It doesn't particularly matter if he's winning or losing to me.
He just needs to show the flashes.
Yep. And he just needs to take those lumps and get through it. And he's going to take a couple. Because I'm pretty sure their immediate future is like Buffalo and Baltimore.
Yeah.
So.
Baptism by fire.
Yeah.
Like we always say.
I think so. Yeah, that's gonna be good.
We'll know very quickly whether he's it or not.
I don't think we'll even know because I think that they're gonna get. I'm not gonna pass any judgment next week because I think Buffalo's gonna fucking crank them.
Absolutely. I mean, if he doesn't show anything, I will let him off the hook with the Bills alone. But I think he's the type of guy to he plays well in big moments. Genuinely think that we will see a couple of flashes against Buffalo and against Baltimore. So it's definitely possible we see kind of what the Steelers saw in him to make him the first quarterback pick this year.
Yeah. Let's see here. What's the Steelers schedule? Ooh.
Yeah, it's bad. It's like 5 weeks in a row.
So they go Bills, Buccaneers, Dolphins, Eagles, Saints, Bengals, and then Colts, Falcons, Baltimore.
I think maybe
Yikes!
I think maybe they beat the Colts.
I think they'll beat the Colts, but I'm looking at these other games. So they go Bills, one of the top defenses. Buccaneers, lost. Another top defense. Dolphins, I think they lose it too.
Yeah.
Eagles, L.
Yeah. That's 4.
Saints. I'll say that's toss up. I'll give them a win.
I'll give them the win there. I'll give them the win there with the Colts.
Bengals win.
Fuck off. That's a loss. That's a loss.
Bengals win. Steelers, Colts. I'll say Steelers. Falcons, I'll give them that. And then you're like Ravens, L.
Yeah.
Panthers, you better win. Raiders, I think they're about even.
I'll give it to the Raiders.
That's a push, but
I'll give it to the Raiders.
Okay, fair enough. And then you finish it out Ravens, Browns. So I think this is not a great schedule
that is 4-9 at best.
Yeah.
I think at best is 4-9. That's giving them a break on 2 games.
Yeah.
That's not looking good for them at all. But hey, Pickett's gonna come in year 2, and it's gonna be very obvious whether he's the guy or not.
Yeah. So we're moving on. Good for the Jets and the Steelers. These are 2 teams in the same situation. The rest of this year is all about their quarterbacks.
Pretty much.
Arizona 26 at Carolina 16. I picked this one right also.
I picked this one wrong.
Because I just feel so strongly, as I had in the preseason, Carolina ain't it.
Yeah.
So, this was just, I don't think Arizona's all that, but I think Arizona they're a weird team in that they're not good, but they're even better than like a lot of the teams that'll beat bad teams. Like I think most of the bad, like genuinely awful teams in the league, Arizona will beat them, and I think the Panthers are awful. So I took Arizona, and I was right.
I think Carolina is genuinely not looking good at all. Sucks because, like I said, I like Baker, but he's looked terrible, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Poor DJ Moore, just getting abused out there, to be honest.
I mean, and his whole career, really. So.
To be honest, yeah. Honest to God, DJ Moore to the Packers would be sick.
Maybe, man.
It's possible. I think he's definitely...
This is the type of team that might be willing to.
Yeah, and I also think that the Panthers are probably firing Rule very soon.
He might take a college job.
I'd put money down right away that he's probably out of here soon. But yeah, Cardinals played good football against a bad team. Decent teams will beat bad teams. Marquise Brown.
I don't even want to call Arizona decent.
I
think they're they're like, you know what, the Cardinals fall under mediocre. Like, they're definitely not bad, but they're definitely not. They are completely mediocre.
Yeah.
And the Panthers are just ass.
Yeah, I think the Cardinals are able to show up to a game like this and just autopilot through. Yeah, and because it's not difficult, but they are going to lose multiple.
Kyler didn't even have to do his homework for this game.
No, probably not. He probably just played COD.
Yeah.
But to be honest, not much more to say.
No, these are two teams that not much is going to come from them. This is more just an indictment on Carolina.
Yeah.
I mean, I
got nothing more to say other than Carolina.
I mean, if I'm
put a nail in Carolina.
If I'm Carolina, I'm blowing this whole thing up.
Oh,
like, I'm firing everybody. I'm trading DJ Moore. I'm trading McCaffrey. I'm trading who the hell's on defense for them. I'm keeping J.C. Horn.
I keep Brian Burns.
Yeah, I'll keep J.C. Horn, Brian Burns, and they have one more D lineman.
Who is it?
I don't even know.
Gross Matos?
No, I think it might be Brian Burns. I want to think it's another D lineman, but it might not be. But yeah, J.C. Horn's legitimately played great.
Yeah,
but
keep the defensive pieces.
Other than that, hell no. I mean, I'm getting McCaffrey out as fast as I can.
Yeah, clear the cap as much as you possibly can. Take the dead money hit. Send him to Buffalo.
Send him to Denver.
No, send him to Buffalo.
Yeah, let him come home.
No, send him to Buffalo. I
don't
want him coming to Denver.
Buffalo doesn't even need it.
All I wanted was Christian McCaffrey in Denver back when I was a Denver Broncos fan. I didn't get it. They did not get it.
We all know that the only thing that Buffalo's really going to add is Odell.
if you can get if you can send a second round pick or a third round pick,
if that's what it takes, they'll do it.
Yeah, I would say Buffalo, do it now. Also,
my one condition: if you fucking send him to Kansas City,
I'm a freak out. I will freak the fuck out.
That'll make me mad.
I will genuinely get angry.
They're gonna get Christian McCaffrey for Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Oh my god, I would genuinely be pissed. But yeah, I think you got to move on from
Christian McCaffrey for Jamar Chase.
Oh, I'm in. And you know what? Take Joe Mixon too, since we already have a running back.
Let's empty it out, yeah.
Before we get to Patriots, Green Bay, do you want to do Raiders Denver? Because Patriots, Green Bay, Sunday night.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
Chiefs Bucks was Sunday night.
Oh, shit, yeah, there's another one.
Yeah, it's on the other page.
Then, yeah, we'll do,
Yeah. Pats 24 at Packers 27. This game went to overtime and literally took the entirety of the overtime period. Green Bay wins, so they're 3-1. As I've said, I'm getting a lot of fool's gold vibes here in terms of they played the Vikings and lost. They beat the Bears.
Tough to do.
Yeah, big time win. They beat Tampa Bay with no receivers and no weapons in a game that there's really nothing to take from. And then this game with the Pats goes all the way to the end in overtime.
And the Pats are
not good.
Yeah,
another one that no. He got hurt right away. Bailey Zappi played.
Yeah, so some random sixth
rookie
rounder, yeah.
Yeah. Brian Hoyer got hurt right away.
Right.
So Green Bay is not. It's sort of like the Giants. They're better than the Giants, but this is not a true contender in my eyes.
Yeah.
Unless they string together some pretty impressive wins, I'm gonna be side eyeing them the whole year. I'd be like, yeah, they'll probably beat all these teams, but I don't think they're gonna beat anybody. They're not gonna beat anyone real.
Yeah.
Their only chance is because they've had to play power football. If they can get a playoff game in Lambeau, maybe they beat someone because they might be able to play cold ball.
That's what I was going to say. I think if Dallas...
Depends on who they play.
I was going to say, if Dallas has to come
I'm not even sure they'll beat Dallas. Dallas is a nasty front.
I'm saying they could. I'm not saying they will. But if Dallas came in... I'm trying to think of another... Another team that maybe would make playoffs in the NFC. I'm not really confident in a lot of them.
I'm confident in...
They could beat the Rams.
Yeah.
They could beat the Rams.
Yeah, they beat the Rams every time.
Yeah. I think they could easily
There's a few teams that have had the Rams number. We'll get there, too. But, yeah, I mean, this is... If the Packers were real, by week 4, you should be able to beat the Pats.
Yeah.
I mean, we're running out of that runway of, it's early and stuff like that. No, these teams are starting to show what they are, and the things that keep happening are going to keep happening unless they change the rosters and, like, bring people in, trade, yada, yada, yada. And that remains true of Green Bay. Their defense is way too inconsistent. So when it's peaking, it's great. But other than that, they can be had. And their offense has really no passing game to speak of. Even though they have a great quarterback, that lack of bringing in receivers, as everyone thought, has come back to bite them.
Yeah.
New England, same deal. So
yeah,
and Mac Jones didn't even play, so there's not much to say about the Pats. The Pats season's over.
Bailey's out though.
The Pats season is over. I thought the Pats season was over before it started. I first guessed this thing. I'm like, no, Patriots aren't it this year.
Yeah.
And yeah, Green Bay 3-1, great. 3 of those wins, very suspect.
Yeah, I agree. I think you obviously can't count out Aaron Rodgers because Aaron Rodgers will do Aaron Rodgers stuff. But when you're throwing to Allen Lazard and no one else,
it's not great.
Yeah, you're not even getting Aaron Jones.
I mean, other than like Romeo Doubs and Christian Watson, and they're both rookies, so they're both prone to mistakes.
Yeah, and Aaron Rodgers hates that. Genuinely, yeah, I think the DJ Moore trade would make a ton of sense.
They want Odell too,
but they also want Odell. I think honestly, bring them both in. Fuck it.
I don't think they will. I think Odell.
No, I don't think they will. But in Madden world, that's what I'm doing. I'm bringing them all in.
I think Odell is going to wait until later in the year, until like week 12, and then really look around and be like, okay, who are the contenders?
Yeah.
And then pick.
Yeah.
My guess.
Kevin Durant mode.
Is based on everyone that's saying everything. It keeps feeling, even though everyone assumes he's going back to the Rams, keeps feeling like him and Buffalo have been real flirty.
Yeah, I really do think that's the case. I think Buffalo with the Von Miller signing, I think that's almost the tell. That Von Miller and OBJ had a great time.
And again, I swear to God, if I see him in red and white,
oh my God. I'll throw something through my TV, man.
That's the annoying one.
Yeah, I'll throw something through my TV for sure.
Yeah, that's the one where it's just like, that's just so annoying.
Yep.
But I think Buffalo's probably the one he picks. Buffalo or the Rams. I think that Odell's wanted to be in LA forever. So I think that if he thinks the Rams are a contender or really just are like a good team, he could be tempted to go there. Other than that, he's mentioned Buffalo and Green Bay.
I think Buffalo probably is the best spot for him.
Yeah, but so Green Bay, you're 3-1, good.
Not convincing.
Like definitely better than 1-3.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not sold on the Pack.
Yeah, no, I gonna be honest with you, not sold on them either. Gonna need to see more. Don't think I will unless they do bring in some receiver help. I genuinely, in how I think this goes, is that OBJ does become a Bill, and then I think you end up having. I swear to God, they really should trade for DJ Moore. The more I say it, the more I love that trade. But I don't know if it'll happen because it doesn't sound like what Green Bay would do. But you never know. And if DJ Moore becomes available, Jacksonville, you better be the first one to call. Swear to God. I will be angry if you don't.
Jacksonville. Don't do that to DJ Moore, man.
No, DJ Moore, with being a true number one over there for Trevor Lawrence, I think would work out perfectly.
I feel so bad for these players that are just constantly passed around between bottom feeders.
I think.
Can you just let him go to Aaron Rodgers?
I'm saying that's where he should go. I'm just saying that if he becomes available, first person on the phone
should be
well, yes, but Jacksonville as well. Like you need to go out and get a number one for Trevor Lawrence, but we've discussed that many times.
So yeah, we're gonna move on from this one. These are two teams where one of their season's over and the other one's a little bit false.
Yeah.
So next up, Denver 23 at Las Vegas 32. a game that while the Broncos lost, I will say they definitely showed improvement. Like in terms of they shot themselves in the foot less, and they actually did like get some of their passing game going. Granted, the Raiders secondary is not great.
Yeah, I don't know how you could even come away with that opinion, but
well, because the first 2 weeks it was absolutely abysmal.
They are
like completely sloppy.
They're averaging 16.5 points.
I'm aware of what they're averaging, but I'm just saying like this is a game that even though they lost it and it wasn't good or anything like that, they have shown slight improvement. And like Russell Wilson showed slight signs of settling in. Not great still. But I'm just saying these are the things that like happen around week 5 with these quarterbacks. They start to show something. Las Vegas, I predicted they would win because even though they were 0-3, they played better through those 3. One of the 3 losses was fluky to the Cardinals, and then they also played Chargers week 1, no shame, and then the Titans game. They probably should have won that, or that you'd think, but they didn't. Unfortunately for them, they're going to drop to 1-4 because they got Kansas City on Sunday Night Football.
Yeah, much needed win for McDaniels against his former team, the former team he head coach for.
Yeah.
Genuinely, I am obviously
I don't like either of these teams.
No, I'm obviously biased, but I think Denver continues to look worse.
Well, okay. Here's the things that you can take away from Denver. Denver's defense is good
when it plays.
Yeah. But I mean, like, in terms of AFC defenses, the only AFC defense you'd rather have than Denver's is Buffalo.
Fair enough on paper, but the team's not being utilized correctly.
Well, I mean, numbers-wise, I'm just speaking defensively. Numbers-wise, defensively, yes, they are. Like, they've played really well defensively. They can't help that their offense fumbles away a touchdown. So it's like...
Well, duh.
So it's stuff like that where it's like, they can't help that. But in terms of like the grand scheme of the AFC, Buffalo's the only defense that's better. And that means that most of the time they'll play close. I'm not picking Denver to do much, but I'm just saying that there are things going on there that Denver will probably finish somewhere around 500.
Yeah.
As they are now. I'll tend to say they'll land at 9-8 and just miss the playoffs. Unless something drastic happens. But that offense does not have it.
I got zero faith in them. That's obvious.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing I have faith in is that defense.
I mean, that's just... Genuinely, this team should be 1-3. They should have lost to the Niners.
Yes, they should have. But...
Painfully, I know.
Painfully, I mean, honestly, I'm willing to. I can reconcile that game a bit, like a week.
The defense played great. Jimmy Garoppolo.
A week removed from it, I can reconcile that game for like a few legitimate reasons. It was just annoying because of a lot of stuff, but
you don't have to relive that.
I will never stop, but like we should have beat them. And I think if we played them this weekend, next weekend, any other weekend, we would. But they played the guy that didn't have a training camp, was just coming back in, and who also decided to shit right all down the back of his pants. But
yeah, no, I honestly.
But I mean, this team. Who's the other team they beat? Of Texans. Yeah, again. So it's like that. Can we not count that?
They very well could be 0-4 if they played 4 decent teams.
Yeah, they could be, but it's just one of those. It's just one of those things where I'm trying to be like hard. I'm trying to be very objective here, because again, it's sort of fun to watch this. It's like watching a car crash.
Yeah, it is in slow motion.
But I mean, objectively, their defense is legit. Pat Surtain is a legit number 1 corner.
Agreed.
Randy Gregory hurt, unfortunately, but when he's been playing this year, he's been a monster for them. And
it's allowed Bradley Chubb to look actually decent.
Yep. And I mean, if unfortunately Simmons got hurt also, but I mean, like I said, defensively, there's a lot to like.
Yeah.
Offensively, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Other than, I mean, legitimately, there's not a ton of reasons for it. On paper, they look great. Javonte Williams out for the year. Sucks. That's unfortunate.
O-line looks terrible. Wide receivers can't catch a ball.
Other than Sutton.
Fumbles. Other than Sutton.
Courtland Sutton's playing well.
Sutton.
Happy for you, Sutton. You're doing great.
I've always liked you, Sutton. I hate that I have to root against you. Now.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's just like, all you guys, not you, you're doing great.
Yeah.
Everybody else, get it together.
Your $250 million quarterback looks like he looks like he sucks, dude. Like, I genuinely, maybe he figures it out, maybe he doesn't. Maybe Hackett genuinely sucks.
God, there's just so much new. I wish some of this was like a holdover thing of like we just had a baseline for either one of these things so we could properly identify which one's the problem.
Yeah.
Could be both, could be one, whatever it is, it's not mixing well.
I don't buy the 2-2 Denver Broncos at all. They really should be. Honestly, if they hadn't played the Texans, they played anybody else, they'd be 0-4.
If they hadn't played the Texans and the 49ers in a QB switch,
and they'd be 1 fucking point still.
Yeah. It'd be over for them.
They're averaging the third least amount of points in the NFL right now. Only 0.5 points.
What's it like? Chicago's got to be lower.
Chicago's lower, and then the Colts are the lowest.
Yeah, checks out.
Yeah, so it is. The Colts are averaging like 14.5 points a game.
Yeah.
Tough.
I mean,
the Bears 16 points a game. Broncos 16 and a half.
I went and found some Broncos fans after this game because I held some bitterness from the week before.
Bay Area revenge from the old times.
Yeah, and all them all those Broncos fans told me the same thing. By the way, you're gonna get yours on Monday night, and we got ours.
Would you like to talk about it?
No, we'll get there last.
Yeah,
but
I was gonna say you got excited for a second.
It's very exciting. I love that so much, but yeah, Denver not ideal. As far as the Raiders go, they got to win. They should be 2-2 with the Cardinals, and then they lost the Chargers and Tennessee games straight up.
Yep.
So the Raiders, realistically, instead of 1-3 or 2-2, unfortunately, they're going to drop to 1-4 playing Kansas City unless something really crazy happens.
Derek Carr does his Chiefs killer impression again.
They haven't lately.
They haven't lately, but every single there's always that chance it feels.
Yeah,
like
well, I mean, listen,
Derek
the Colts got one on the Kansas City Chiefs, so maybe the Raiders can too.
And Derek Carr seems to play his best against the Chiefs.
But he's not playing well this year.
No, but he always seems to. Even when he's playing bad, he turns it on
against Kansas City. Well, I hope so. They need it.
Yeah.
But the problem is,
I don't think it happens though.
Well, I was about to say the problem is, the Chiefs can also like. Chris Jones is a really good deep tackle, and that Raiders O-line is garbage. Not to mention, it's never great when your secondary's bad and you're playing Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. That's never what you want.
I don't think it happens this year, to be honest. I don't think he pulls it off. I think they get swept, but genuinely, there is that 5% chance that Derek Carr becomes God that day.
Yeah. But overall,
Broncos suck.
Game went sort of how you'd think. Denver wildly disappointing.
Denver blows.
I'll give credit to Denver's defense. They hold strong for the most part. They can't if you fumble a touchdown, they can't stop it. So brutal. Their defense if that offense can legitimately just be competent, they could do something, but I'm not sure they're going to get there. So
I don't think they can.
Yeah. And then on to Sunday Night Football. Kansas City 41, Tampa Bay 31. Kansas City just got out in front early and never let up.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the shit that happened in this game, that little goal line touchdown pass, that was sick. That was so disgusting.
It's genuinely weird that they lose to the Colts, but then can put on a clinic like this.
They're so pissed.
Yeah, I think definitely angry to lose to the Colts.
I think they were double pissed because they were like, "This is a team that beat us in the Super Bowl." I think they were already going to be pissed for this game, and then the Colts did that to them. But oh god, some of the plays in this game, it's just like, okay. What the hell are you going to do about that?
We saw some fireworks for sure. I think there's always that possibility with the Chiefs offense. There's always some boom and wild plays.
Yeah.
It is what it is. As much as I love to hate.
Some of those.
Sometimes it's just great football.
Yeah.
What can I say?
I mean, that play, legitimately, that goal line play when it happened, I was like, he did not.
Yeah.
Running, spin, basically underhands the damn thing like, fuck it.
I watched that one, and it's plays like that part of my brain's like, the NFL's so rigged. It's just like, and then at the other times I'm just like, can someone just obliterate this fucking guy? Like, he gets away with
like everyone.
Like, people, it's like the goddamn Matrix with this guy sometimes, where literally people dive and he just spins off of them, or he fucking, like, I'm genuinely like, bro, in 2 years, he's getting tackled. Like, in 2 or 3 years, when he's not at his athletic peak anymore,
somebody's gonna crack.
Someone's obliterating that motherfucker.
If I'm one of these teams, I'm like, okay, you're not that valuable to our defense. So here's what we're gonna do. You are just going to, like a missile. I don't care. While he's spinning, as soon as he pulls up to throw it, just launch into him.
I want
just make him not want to run.
I want one person to go for the dive and make him fucking focus on that one while you just come in and level the fucking guy.
So one of these teams needs to like find a way to make him not want to run that much. Somebody needs to crack him.
Yeah, nobody's stopped him.
Hey, Derwin James, instead of body slamming Kelsey, this time let's get 15.
God, please. God,
and I don't. By the way, I just want to say it like this. I don't want him to get hurt. I'm speaking strictly from like a strategic standpoint of like
we're talking about getting sacked.
Like somebody needs to find a way to just land a really clean shot on him to make him just think twice.
To hesitate, because the dude doesn't give a shit. The dude is genuinely. He will run around passes. For 15 fucking seconds like it's goddamn like, fucking Little League football.
Those are the moments where I'm like, oh god, the only team that beats that version of Kansas City is Buffalo.
Yeah.
Like the only team that is gonna hang with that version is the Bills.
Man, I fucking hate it, man. I hate it because every time he runs out of the pocket, any other quarterback in the league, you're holding your breath waiting for your team to make the sack.
Except maybe Lamar.
Except maybe Lamar, of course. But like for most of the part, like you're trusting your defense you have. Yeah, you're like get him. You know, every football fan's been sitting in front of the TV screaming, "Get him!" When you see him run out of the pocket, you are genuinely like, "Fuck! Stop him! Stop him!"
You are so clenched.
Yeah, you were like, "Stop him! Stop him! Stop him! Not hit him! Stop him! Like someone just make him throw it out of bounds, please."
Dude, the other thing that's crazy about the way he does things, it's like all of a sudden someone is on him, but the one part of him that they didn't manage to grab is that right arm.
Yeah,
and he's just like being spun. He's being spun to the ground, throws it, and it's somehow accurate. And like threads the needle over a defender. It's like first down. It's like, how did you do that?
It's fucking rigged, dude. I swear to God, it's rigged. It's not this good.
Credit where credit's due. Like we said, it was a huge question of what could they do without Tyreek Hill. The answer absolutely is they're totally fucking fine. They are completely fine.
I just want them to suck, man.
I know. And this is one of those things where you say he's a system quarterback and stuff like that. But okay, here's the one counter to that I would love to hear your thoughts on. So you're talking about how every time he like gets out of the pocket, you're like, oh crap. That is the exact moment where it's no longer a system thing.
No, it is exactly when it's a system.
No, when he does that when the play is broken.
The dude is an athlete, and defenders genuinely cannot cover for 14 seconds straight. When you have 14 seconds to throw a fucking football because your O-line is one of the best O-lines in fucking football.
It's not.
You can dance
His O-line
around.
Is not.
They genuinely have. They've invested a lot of money. They have a good edge.
Their tackles are not good.
Orlando Brown is great.
He's not great.
He's pretty solid.
He's a middle of the pack tackle.
He does his job well enough for fucking.
No, the strength of their O-line is the center three.
Bro, exactly. But when you're running around for 15 seconds because you have basically a pocket around you at all times, defenders can't fucking defend against.
Well, okay. Here's the thing where I'm like.
If it were him making plays and running out of the pocket and making a quick throw to a crazy athletic throw, I'd be a little bit more inclined to believe that he's insane.
I need to know what Tampa did on defense because there's been like formulas not to stop the Chiefs, but there are proven ways of making them slow down, and I have no idea if Tampa actually freaking did it. But normally it's like these deep shell zones, and you just spy him, probably. I have no idea. You got to hope that your four can rush.
And that it's just fucking annoying as shit.
Well, this is why I think it's 2 weeks they play Buffalo, and Buffalo rushes 4 and has the highest pass run win percentage. That'll tell a lot. If they can torch the Bills,
yeah, it's gonna be rough. I don't think it happens. I'm gonna be optimistic. But that's not the fucking case.
I don't think either. But here's what I think. I don't think either of them are gonna bludgeon the other.
I think
it could happen.
I think Buffalo wins by 2 scores.
Maybe.
I would say Buffalo shows a dominant.
I think Buffalo maybe comes in angry.
Yeah, Buffalo's coming in very angry, and I think they want to win by 2 scores to prove that. Even if you,
I think they want to win by like 5.
Well, duh. But I think realistically, they want the game to end up 10 points or 14 or 17, something along those lines. Genuinely, I think they want to prove that even if we give you 13 fucking seconds again, it's not going to matter.
Score 3 times in 13 seconds, bitches.
Try it again. Like, try it again.
They're like, we'll give you one, too.
Yeah, so I genuinely, that game will be obviously great to watch.
But this is becoming a situation, though, with Kansas City and Buffalo, where it's like, those two seem to be on a collision course.
I would say they're very obviously the upper echelon. It's them alone at the top of the AFC. Then you've got the Bengals.
It's them alone at the top of the NFL.
I think the Eagles are making a case that they're NFC's
They are,
finest.
but I think NFC's finest is not AFC's finest.
I agree, but I think if you're gonna count the best of the best in the NFL as of right now, you gotta include the undefeated team.
I guess so, but I mean, if I was to do them in tiers, it'd be like Buffalo 1A, Kansas City 1B. Eagles are a tier by themselves, and then we go down.
I'd give the Eagles 1C, but like with the knowledge that 1A and 1B means higher ranking, and C is strictly like giving them the.
You're undefeated. Yeah.
I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. Not only are they undefeated, but they've genuinely proven they're a good team. So
yeah.
I'm convinced as of now that they are the NFC's best team at least for this moment. We'll see how that goes.
We'll see how it goes, yeah.
But genuinely, I put those 3 at the top of the triangle, and then the next layer, I put the teams that we know to be good. I'd say the Bengals, the Ravens. Who else would I put in this fucking?
I'd put the Chargers with you guys.
The Chargers, the Niners, teams that you know are good and are a win games. Miami, Minnesota.
I mean, but what I'm saying right now is, it's like, unless they meet earlier in the playoffs, God, those two look like they're going to run through everyone else.
It really does look like we're looking at the top 2 seeds. And genuinely, I think, I still think Buffalo takes it.
I do too.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, this version of Kansas City that we've seen, this is not the team that everyone was like, they might have this problem. No, they don't have that problem.
No.
The Colts caught them somehow, but like, talk about an anomaly.
I hate the NFL.
But like, ooh, they both look really good.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But yeah, Tampa Bay, they scored 31, and their defense will normally play better, but Kansas City just jumped on them early, and they weren't able to get back.
Yeah.
So,
I'm. There's a whole lot of shit going on with Tom Brady and everything, as we all know. I'm not gonna get too much into it because I think that's just it is what it is. It's a bunch of wacko celebrity bullshit.
Yeah.
I don't think this is a big deal for Tampa Bay. Putting up 31 is still a pretty solid accomplishment, especially against Kansas City when you were down behind.
I know everyone's talking about the rushing yards with them too.
Yeah, it's a big thing right now.
Well, I'll say this:
missing weapons. You're missing fucking.
In terms of the running game for them, yeah, you still want to get more than 3 yards.
Duh.
But also, let's keep in mind here, Kansas City jumped out like 21-3 right away.
Yeah.
The running game went out the window pretty damn fast.
Yeah, you wouldn't be running the ball a lot either if you were down 3-4 scores right at the beginning of the gates, especially when you've got Tom Brady as your quarterback. You're making Tom Brady do what Tom Brady thinks. Yeah, genuinely is. I think they're okay. I think the Buccaneers still going to be the NFC South golden child, and they're going to win it by a lot.
Yeah.
I think they're still a contender to potentially win the Super Bowl once things start coming together a little bit more. It's just a little bit of a slow start with some of these bigger games like Green Bay and Kansas City. So the thing every time I think about the Buccaneers, I think about the getting swept by Drew Brees in the regular season and then crushing him in the playoffs. So that's kind of that's how I view the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Is they're going to be ready when it's time. They're going to make it to the playoffs. If it takes working it out now to get there, then they're going to work it out. And it's Tom Brady. I mean, Are you really willing to bet against Tom Brady until it's proven that he's out of the playoffs? Like, honestly,
no.
Yeah.
I am willing to say that they're starting to concern me.
I have
like
a little concern.
A little bit.
I have a little concern. I'm not
next
gonna sit here
next week's.
Pretend.
I mean, next week's a get right game normally for them. They got Atlanta.
Yeah.
And normally they sort of smash the Falcons. So if they're not doing that, they go Falcons, then Steelers, then Panthers before a matchup with Baltimore. If they don't go 3-0 through that stretch, I'll be concerned.
I'll be concerned, but I think this is exactly what they need to get back to where they want to be. And then I think if they go 3-0, I think you genuinely have a conversation of they could go in and beat Baltimore.
Yeah. So I think that's my thing. If the next by the end of the next 3 weeks they're not looking great,
we'll be more.
I'll start to be like, ooh.
Exactly.
But in terms of, and then like Kansas City going forward, yeah, they go Raiders, then Bills, then 49ers and Titans. So the next 4 games for Kansas City are also all different styles of teams that are all pretty competent, other than the Raiders. I suspect they'll win 2 of those 3. I think Buffalo probably takes them, but
they'll be proving their mettle.
Yeah, I'm not. Kansas City really doesn't have to prove that much to me at this point. They've shown enough where you're like, okay, they're real.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of if another real team comes in, they might win or lose. But like Kansas City's gonna be favored in almost every game they play.
Right.
So. And then on to Monday Night Football, and what a Monday night it was.
I'm going to just let you do your thing.
Now, I'm going to let you go first here, just so I'll finish this thing off. But LA Rams, 9, at San Francisco 49ers, 24. Oh, that felt good.
I bet. After last week, I'm sure. Genuinely, the Rams are... When the Rams play the Niners, I usually always bet on the Niners.
It's just so funny.
Look at him go. A week later, he's all back to good. Genuinely, the Rams have looked a little bit off in their title defense so far, halfway through the season. Winning games they probably should have won. Losing games against
the 2 good teams they played.
The 2 good teams they played. Absolutely. I think I had the Niners scheduled down for this one, or circled down for this one. Definitely knew that the Niners were probably going to bounce back from a rough game last week against the Broncos. And to be honest with you, I kind of lost my faith in the Rams very early on this season when they just haven't proven that they are the same team that won the Super Bowl.
Yep.
I don't know what's going on with Stafford. He's kind of looking like a different quarterback almost.
I know what's going on with Stafford.
And what's that?
Battle line, only one weapon, all the things that everyone knew.
The battle line is definitely what's the biggest issue. Is he's got pressure in his face basically every single game I've seen. Cooper Kupp is Cooper Kupp. Of course, the last money I put down in my DraftKings account is for a prop upload or a bonus, like a boost in the odds for Cooper Kupp to score a touchdown. And I was like, well, I feel like that probably happens because eventually Cooper Kupp gets in the end zone. So I put $5 down to win 12. There goes the last of my money betting on the Rams. So I'm a little butthurt, but genuinely, I am more concerned about this team than anything else. It's kind of the same thing with the Bucks, except I'm already at my point of where the Bucks could be going, of me being genuinely concerned for them. I don't know if the Rams make it out of round 1 of the playoffs. I think they might be a wild card just because the NFC sucks.
Dude, I think they got to be real worried. This Dallas game is going to be really telling about them.
They need to they need to bounce back.
I hope Dallas fucking smacks them.
Cooper Rush.
I am rooting for Dallas.
He is a Cooper Rush fan.
This week. If Dak was playing, I'd be like, I feel really good.
Of course. Of course. But yeah, you are obviously hoping for a Cooper Rush 5-0 career start. And who the Niners play next week?
Carolina.
Yeah, so you're getting a win.
I feel pretty good.
Yeah. So great bounce back game. Proves the Niners are still, even without Trey Lance really being available and Jimmy Garoppolo shitting himself last week, the team's still a quality team. It can be run by a bus driver, and that's what Jimmy G is. I think it says more about the Rams than it does the Niners because I think we know the Niners are good.
This game made me feel like real strong about San Fran winning the West.
Yeah, I think it's absolutely the case.
Like,
I think the team's just more well-rounded and loaded.
I mean, if you go through their rosters, the only unit you'd rather have on the Rams is like quarterback.
As of right now, yeah. I mean, and even if Trey Lance doesn't get hurt, that one's a toss-up because you never.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'll give Stafford enough respect to say I'd rather have him.
Yeah.
But other than that, the Rams have nothing I want.
Yeah, I genuinely, the Rams do not look as advertised. I'm not really big on them, which sucks because I like Stafford and Cooper Kupp. It genuinely they look like a team. I'd say they look like a good team with massive holes.
I don't even think they look like that much of a good team.
They look like a team that just had a chunk ripped off of them. And it's just too big of a chunk, and the water's filling in and the boat is sinking. Go ahead.
This was so satisfying.
The
Rams are so annoying because they really do chirp a lot and they talk a lot, and they're really not all that.
Ramsey, I'm him.
I mean, yeah, Jalen Ramsey. Yeah, him got fucking trucked on the way to a touchdown, fucking bitch. So, if you're him, you don't bitch out and get run over.
He got blown up. Deebo Samuel on that crazy-ass play.
That was so funny. I mean, listen, it happens every single time. The Rams are freaking Charmin, dude. Ultra soft as soon as the 49ers play them, dude. The 49ers bully ball them all day, every single day. The Rams have fucking nothing for it. I mean, it's so funny because they're always like, oh, we're this, we're that. And then you, like, just push them. They're like, oh, what? That's the Rams. They're every single time somebody punches them in the mouth, and they're real easy to punch in the mouth.
Right.
They just fold. And it's great. I mean,
it's a typical Hollywood team.
Exactly. It's hilarious.
And I'm a Dodgers fan, so relax.
Exactly. But in terms of like how this game actually went, we completely fucking throttled them on defense.
Yep.
They were able to move the ball a little bit and then never score a damn thing. They're lucky to score in the 9 they did. We dropped 2 interceptions on them. One was a pick 6, though, so that was cool. That was nice. Nick Bosa, fucking monster. 2 sacks, 14 pressures. That is more than some teams like have had through 4 weeks. And it's awesome. Like the Trey Hendrickson thing. Like Trey Hendrickson, that's like his first quarter of the season stats that Nick Bosa just gave to the Rams. So, eat shit, LA. Bastards. I mean, it's so funny. I mean, Sean McVay and the Rams just get little brothered all the time. It's just you're getting beat over the head, and then you're like, mercy rule, hit him again, naturally, as you should.
Any older brother.
They're just so fun. I mean, the Rams didn't have a play over 20 yards.
That says a lot.
We're the only team that hasn't given up 20 points in any game this year. And our front is nasty. Our secondary has like much improved and is now really good. And we're getting 2 of our better secondary players back. So, I mean, defensively, we hang with anyone in the league defensively. That's no problem. Offensively, we just bludgeon people, and our playmakers are really good. I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo ended up with almost like 200-something passing yards on basically nothing beyond like 5 yards throwing, it felt like.
It's a big day for him.
Yeah, it was a big day for him. Yeah, that Deebo play was hilarious to watch.
It's genuinely one of those. We're going to be seeing that one for so long.
Well, I just enjoy because the Rams corners chirp a whole lot, and they're always just like, oh, and then one of them misses and gets the ball caught right on top of his stupid fucking helmet.
Yeah, one of the guys.
And then
he's top corner of the game.
Juke, run through, head of steam, Jalen Ramsey, fucking pissing down his leg, run over, bitch.
That's why you paid Deebo.
Yeah, and
right there.
Touchdown. Rams don't have shit for anyone, dude. They don't have a damn thing for us. I'll be expecting a card on Father's Day, Rams. You can make it out to the Emperor of the Niner Empire. Okay. And yeah, I mean, we own you. You got real lucky one time. Congratulations. That shit's over. You guys don't have a goddamn thing. You can say, oh, we got Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp had like the least impactful 100-yard game I've ever fucking seen. 14 catches, 100 yards, not a damn thing to show for it. How'd that work out? Tyler Higbee had some catches, nothing. You guys can't run the ball for a damn thing because you're soft. I mean, what are you going to do? You think you're going to, like, move Nick Bosa and Fred Warner? Hell no. And we were missing 2 of our D linemen. You guys aren't going to do a damn thing. Like, I would love to see us play Philly. I don't know that we'd beat Philly. I don't think Philly would score, though. Not a lot.
Do you guys play it all this year?
I don't think so.
Okay, well, then it might be a playoff matchup.
But, I mean, I'm just curious because, like, Philly's the class of the NFC thing, but we always tend to have this weird way with those high-end NFC teams of just causing problems.
Yep.
Like, Green Bay, L.A., like, all of them. They, for some reason, they just really have a hard time with us, and it's mostly just because we're just nastier.
Yep.
And we take pride in being meaner and tougher.
Yep.
The only team in the league that I think prides itself as much on that as us is Tennessee.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the Rams are fucking soft. Ugly uniforms. They are, dude. Some ugly stuff.
IKEA's football team has kind of grown on me a little bit.
Yeah, I bet.
I like the bone.
You guys freaking break as easily as IKEA furniture, too.
I like the bone uniforms.
Yeah?
Now, I'm not saying they're my favorite away uniforms in the league, but I like that it's a little bit different.
They're so stupid.
They're not my favorite uniform in the league, but they've kind of grown on me a little.
Yeah. You guys are Super Bowl chumps and aren't even repeating.
Damn.
I'm not even sure you'll get to the playoffs.
Damn. Anything else?
I mean, no. I mean, it just feels good to fucking teabag them every time we play them.
As it should, brother.
Yeah, fuck them.
Yeah.
I mean, this is genuinely something if every single time we play them, we just bully ball them.
Oh, believe me, if Sunday goes the way I'm hoping...
You guys were one dropped interception from us away from not getting to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only reason you went is one of our guys dropped a punt of a pick. Other than that, you guys don't have a damn thing on us, so...
I'll be the same way.
Eat shit and die.
Sunday goes the way I'm hoping, I'll be the exact same way.
Yep. I mean, they say that rivalries have to be competitive. So I'm not even sure why this is considered a rivalry. Every single time we just make you guys look like fucking toddlers.
Damn.
Aaron Donald, my fucking ass.
Damn.
It's true. I mean, we're missing O linemen too, and you couldn't sack us at all.
Hey, you got a point.
Yeah, we both have injuries on the O line. We got 7 sacks and like 20-something pressures total.
Yeah.
Hilarious. It's hilarious. They got so scared that they were basically just only throwing screens. And so we picked one off and ran it back for a touchdown.
Sometimes I genuinely cannot tell the difference between your rants and positive or negative. They sound so similar.
Yeah, they all just have like anger behind them.
Yeah, it's definitely, and I've been there. Absolutely, I'm the same way.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to, oh God, Sunday needs to be the way I want, otherwise I'm going to go through depression.
Yeah. No, I just love that because fuck the Rams.
Well, so
They never deserve to be champs.
I agree on that one.
Yeah. I mean, that's what happens when you get easy matchups in the Super Bowl.
Shut the fuck up.
But
that is bullshit. One hit away from losing. They're one hit away from losing that game.
whatever. All I'm saying is Rams aren't anything. You want to know like a good indicator of how bad this was for them? Our defense made them play worse than Buffalo's defense did. And this was 3 weeks later.
Yeah, that's tough.
So
Should I figure out?
we have like a real claim to the best defense in the league thing, and I feel damn good about that against basically any team in the NFC. I mean, Philly hasn't been tested with anything like that. Dallas might be able to like give them some gauge, but Philly's the one that I'd look at and be like, maybe.
Yeah.
But Green Bay, that's another team that we just fucking own.
Yep.
Tampa Bay, they have O-line issues, and Tom Brady's not real mobile.
Right.
So, I mean, I feel that the only thing that will stop us wears number 10 and has a very personal grudge with me. So,
That's fair.
I mean, Philly is the only team that I look at. I'm like, maybe concerning.
Right.
I would honestly rather have Philly get to the Super Bowl than us, because if I had to fucking see
Josh Allen.
yeah, if I have to get my hopes up again and just have it ripped from me, that'd be unfortunate. Who knows? Maybe if we got to the Super Bowl, I'd convince myself we win. But,
as every normal family.
Yeah, but looking at the NFC, we're basically the same team we were last year. That was like one play away from the Super Bowl, but we're improved in our secondary and on our defense. So that gives me a lot of confidence because the conference as a whole is weaker. So I think there's a real chance that if we just stay healthy and if Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't just absolutely crap the bed, we could get to the Super Bowl. The Rams aren't going to do a damn thing. So eat shit.
Just got you there.
Yeah. God, that felt good. It just bent them over the goalpost. That was pretty funny.
Anyways, I think that'll wrap it up unless you've got more to say.
No, that's it.
Yeah, you gotta let it all out.
Own the Rams.
Oh, yeah.
It's just so funny because they talk all this shit and then they just get like absolutely rolled.
Yeah,
I mean, I enjoyed seeing Jalen Ramsey just.
Yeah, I think everyone does. I like seeing Jalen Ramsey just get fucked.
Again, he always talks like, I'm that guy. Dude, you're like the least impressive top corner of like, really like 20, 30 years.
Yeah, no, I don't buy it at all.
Yeah. You're the best corner in a generation of no scary corners. So,
exactly.
There you go. Congrats, buddy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Overrated for sure.
Oh, that's good. Well, I mean, the other thing that makes me happy is just Nick Bosa now leads the league in pressures by 8 and leads the league in sacks. So
Defense player.
we're having a good time.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm loving it. That defense has been good for years, but this year it's like now that they finally got their secondary figured, they're really looking good. I mean, Charvarius Ward's playing great, and then Hufanga was a rookie last year, flashed a bit, and this year is like playing like crazy. Apparently, he's been like training with Troy Polamalu, which makes me happy.
Wow.
And obviously, USC safety, Polynesian with long hair.
Always down.
The comparison's just there.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's playing great.
Hell yeah.
Had the game sealing pick 6. Loved it. Been crazy all year too. So now we're looking good on defense, and it all comes down to the same thing. It's come down to for the last 3 years. Jimmy fucking Garoppolo.
Aren't you excited?
Do you want... Oh, God, so excited. That's the only thing. So if it ends badly for us, I already know that I'm just going to go nuclear on him.
Yeah. Did you ever get Garoppolo's jersey?
No.
You never got it?
No.
Even when you first traded for him?
No.
Were you a fan of him when you first traded for him? Were you excited about the trade and everything?
Yeah, because I like the Patriots too. So I was aware of him. I knew he was injury prone though, because he'd gotten hurt like when he was in like the 3 starts he had in New England.
Right.
He'd already gotten himself hurt.
Right.
So no, I'm not like that hasty to like buy jerseys on people until I know that they're worth having around.
Fair enough.
So no, I didn't do it. And then the year we got to the Super Bowl, it was sort of like, God, there's just something off about the way they were playing, and it really just is that we hide them.
Yeah.
And everyone knows it. So, whatever. We'll get it figured out.
Hey.
And we're just going to play the same way we've played the last few years. We're just going to out-tough you. And I think that's very possible with most teams.
Oh, absolutely.
So, I mean, again, like I said, Philly's the only one that I'm not entirely sure about, but I also wouldn't rule it out.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. But, like, Green Bay, no problem. I think Minnesota would fold. I think Tampa Bay can be had. I don't know who else would come out of the South. Rams, you're our bitch. Seahawks, bitch. Cardinals, bitch. Cowboys, oh yeah, bitch also. So, I mean, the only team I'm like, that'd be an interesting one's Philly. So, we'll see. And then the Super Bowl, I swear to fucking God. I'll be so mad.
Yeah. There's a long season before we start talking that.
I know, but it shows the 49ers are now doing the things that I thought they'd do. I can sort of explain away the Denver game in some ways of just being like defensively still clamped them, and then offensively it was really like sort of like a week 1 game for Jimmy Garoppolo. And it showed.
Yeah.
Unfortunate that it happened, But in terms of like being 2-2, I feel better about us than I do a lot of 2-2 teams.
Sure.
Because I mean, we've been consistent mostly, and the games we've lost by some weird fucking way. So we'll see. Got Carolina next. I think we'll handle them.
Probably pull that one off.
Yep. And yeah, I feel pretty good about us winning the West.
I think it's absolutely likely.
Yep. All right. That'll do it for us then.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. Fuck you, Rams.